G'day, we're back again talking about hidden costs in your business. So, you're with Simo and Ed, and this is the Fastline Track Growth Show, where we talk all things karting and business. So, hidden costs, Ed.
Yep, welcome back to video number 2 around hidden costs. We're going to dive straight in now with the evolving world of technical solutions for your business.
This is huge. I mean, tech evolves so quickly that I just can't keep up.
No, and there's always like some youngster in the office going, "Oh, you're still doing it that way?"
Yeah.
I have, within the last couple of years, been into a new client of mine and walked in and went into their accounts office, and some of you won't even know what this is, but there was some blue copy paper and they were copying it out of an invoice book. And this was 2 years ago. We're recording this, where are we, 2021, about to be 2022, right? And they were still got copy paper. There'll be some people watching this going, what the bloody hell's that? Because I got a bit of grey hair. They got no idea what I'm talking about. But that's how old that was.
Well, you remember at school how they used to do the newsletter and stuff? They had those machines where they'd roll it up and they'd crank out those things and you sniff them. Yeah. I can still remember that smell. That's just dated us, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think my granddad told me about this. But tech is evolving all the time. So there's really cool ways. I know you're already doing this, but you know, when I send my invoices out, somebody pays me my invoice, it all magically appears in my bank, right? And all the invoices are matching and my software system knows that it relates to that account. I don't know how that bloody works. I can find out. I'm not that interested, but that just shows you one way when I set it at once that it just runs smoothly. You know, you can really start to streamline your processes. And if you're not doing that, you're spending money when you don't have to. It's a hidden cost within your business.
I mean, the captions we develop for these videos, I just upload the video. Well, I don't even upload it. I point Rev to them and they generate the captions. And I did a video with Spanish captions the other day.
Did you?
You know? It was cool.
That's amazing. I hope they translated correct.
Well, I actually got Maya. Maya's our Spanish speaking expert. I got her to check it out and she said actually it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's an interesting process, you see. So there's a great example where there's some tech in there that's really useful for us and that works, but you do just need to dot the I's and cross the T's while you do it. But the really great thing is it's a little bit of work up front for a very, very long-term gain. So that's only going to pay dividends and it will just reduce costs massively. So embrace new tech, and I think the world's changing anyway.
Yeah, it changes so quickly. You know, we introduced a system called Guru. Yeah. Right, and Guru is sort of, it's like a knowledge base,
like an intranet system essentially, but more
more up
to date.
Really small little cards.
Yeah.
Easily searchable, and you know that's where we're putting our intellectual property. You know, and all how we run the business, how an order goes out. You know, how you take an order, how you dispatch an order, how you receive an order. It's really cool, helpful.
But writing that process down as well will start to highlight where there's duplication. Duplication's a biggie.
Yeah.
Back from my IT days, I spent a good few years in that field as well. But if anything was getting duplicated, the alarm bells would be ringing, because that means we can probably find a way that you don't have to double key everything in. No. So if you're double keying, as in typing the same thing out more than once, you've probably got a tech solution waiting for you to be waiting to be found for you out there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one. This is a favourite of mine.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Multiple suppliers is not often a very good idea.
No, not at all. You know, there's multiple reasons for this. First of all, you've got to speak or make or email multiple orders to multiple suppliers. So you've got your time to do that.
That's right. Then
you've probably got shipping costs on each of them. Then if anything goes wrong, you could be talking to different people. Whereas if you consolidate a lot of that, it's one person, one invoice.
And also a way to escalate it quickly.
Yeah. And then you're giving that invoice to Beryl over in accounts. Now, instead of keying one invoice in, all of a sudden she's keying 3 in. So instead of it costing you 20 quid, it's costing you 60 quid.
Yeah, we've talked about the hidden costs around what your accounting staff really costs and the costs of raising an invoice. So if you save £10 and you think you've done really well, you've probably just cost your business about 15 because it's going to be at least £25 cost to do that. The other bit as well in there, if you've got multiple suppliers and you want a part, and some of them you won't come across very often, you'll be standing there thinking, who was it that supplies that part? You lose time while you're rooting around, trying not to embarrass yourself with your suppliers by ringing up the wrong one for the part that they don't do.
Yep.
So, and you don't really want to be in there. You want to nurture good relationships with everybody around your business, I hope. So it just soaks time away constantly from, I guess, the mechanics, the track owners. The people that are having their time soaked away by multiple suppliers are probably the ones at a go-kart track that are actually got a higher salary.
Yeah.
Expensive business.
It's like that old story of your mate who goes and shops at different supermarkets.
Yes.
Right? And it takes him 2.5 hours to shop.
Because
he's going to Tesco's for his milk, he's going to Morrison's for his bread, and he's going to Aldi for his meat. Now, whereas...
He's so tight.
Yeah. Whereas, he's probably saving about £5, isn't he?
We go out for a beer, we stand there, and then at some point, every time we go out, there's half a dozen of us have a drink together. Somebody, normally me, will go, where's the cheapest petrol at the moment? And he knows which garage it is in the local area. And we all burst out laughing, and he doesn't understand why it's funny. But he will literally know that it costs him like a penny less per litre. And we just look at him like he's just crazy.
But it takes him, what 2 hours, 2.5 hours to do his shopping?
Well,
whereas normally it takes you 45 minutes in one place.
There'll be business owners out there that are sitting down going, I found this for like 5 cents or even $5 or £5 cheaper. Right? And it's the equivalent of us going out with our friends going, where's the cheapest?
Yeah.
We're doing that, but there's nobody there to actually pull you up on it or get you thinking about it consciously. So multiple suppliers is not usually a good idea.
No.
1, maybe 2. I can understand why you might have 2.
You've always got to have a backstop.
Exactly. So you've mitigated your risk. But if you've got a place that does pretty much everything you need and the price is pretty decent, bloody use it. And I'm not just talking about Fastlane because we're here. I'm talking about everything that you're doing in your go-kart track. Don't start muddying the processes. Yeah. It's costing you money. Even if sometimes you think you're saving money, you're not. You're actually spending more money trying to do it, trying to sort all those multiple suppliers out.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Point 7 is not checking direct debits.
This is a classic one.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just for your business. This is you personally as well.
Yeah. Mobile phone subscriptions is a huge one.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be set and forget.
Yeah.
And you don't realise that's happening, and then you get your bill every month. And it's like, hang on, there's 100 bloody quid in subscriptions here.
Yeah.
I don't use half of them.
Yeah.
So
you're going to find that most of your subscriptions are just repeating subscriptions. And because they're just repeating regularly, you just get used to a point. There's like a burn rate. So I don't know. Let's keep it nice and simple. Let's say your burn rate on your account is £100 or dollars a month. You just get used to that amount going out. But when you analyse it, you'll probably find a chunk of that, a good 20-30% of it, actually is stuff that you can just stop immediately.
Yeah. The final point, the final hidden cost.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
We have. We haven't just hinted it. We've talked about it in quite a lot of detail.
We did 2 videos, I think.
Yeah.
And that final hidden cost is shit offer structures.
Yeah, if you've got your offers going out and you've put very little thought into it, you've got a major problem. Yet again, I have had a text just a couple of days ago, because it's Christmas period while we're filming, and it's like, name of go-kart track, 10% off on everything, and I'm just thinking, this is a crazy offer.
I got the same text.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go. Now, no harm done. They're probably thinking they're doing the right thing, and if you're getting a return on it, and that's providing you some income, then don't just switch it off without some more thought. But any company, and if that's you, anybody that's sending out that type of message just saying 10% off, let me just give you a quick hint. That's a really shit offer. What you're looking for is value. You want to get people that have got stuff, and ideally giving stuff away that doesn't cost you too much but is of huge value to somebody that is potentially looking at coming to your track. So if you get your offer wrong, And I think I've said it in the earlier video, 10% off is 10% off your bottom line.
Yeah.
So if you're a business owner and you've got your marketing department coming up saying, we're going to do a 10% off offer, you just add in your head, like mentally, just think 10% off my bottom line. Am I now still very happy about that?
No.
Because it just absolutely cripples you, and it's just a hidden cost in your business.
It's better to lay the values, lay a value into your offers. And I mean, rather than going 10% off, you could go second ride 25% off.
Yeah.
Now, that's not as bad as 10% off because
you've already covered your costs. You're into profit. But some people won't have an immediate second ride, but they might just take you up on the second ride. So now it's already all your marketing's been covered. So all the hidden cost of marketing, all the other bits and pieces, you're now into pure profit scenario after a bit of fuel and a bits and pieces on your normal wear and tear. But that would be a smarter offer. So yeah, I think without too much thought, without too much thought, I think the second ride as part of the offer is probably going to be a smart offer. There's got to be a whole host of ways. I mean, if I was in the marketing department for a go-kart track and that was all I was focusing on, it wouldn't take me too long to come up with 3 or 4 killer offers that's going to provide lots of value, that's not going to cost me
a lot of money,
or there might be a perception that some money's been lost, but actually it puts us in a much stronger profit position. That's where we really want to be.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you got that text. In fairness, if you're just sitting there thinking, I think it's talking about me, well, we probably are. Call us, we'll sort your offer out. But secondly, the good news is a lot of your consumers, they won't realise that is a shit offer. They'll just take it on faith. People don't think like him and me normally around that karting world.
No.
So you're not doing yourself any reputational damage necessarily. You just could do it much better. And much better for your bottom line profit, where you take your dividends from, hint, hint. You should be highly motivated to go make sure these offers are structured correctly.
Yeah.
Short and sweet today, I think.
Absolutely.
We've covered quite a lot of topics over there. Perhaps there's the hidden costs in your business. Some of them will be unique to you. You've just got to be sort of aware to them. And the great news is for hidden costs, when you tackle them, there's a small little bit of effort, normally reduces costs. But not just for that day or week. It's the sort of cost that reduces normally over the next 12 months or even 5 years. Just taking a bit of time to review it. Twice a year maybe? You don't have to be a slave to this. We'll actually have huge knock-on benefit for you over a 5-year period.
Another hidden cost in the go-kart world would be not doing preventative maintenance or not maintaining your karts properly.
Huge one.
There's
a tag one in here, but it's a really valuable one for go-kart track owners, isn't it?
We didn't think about it when we put it up because we were thinking businesses in general.
Yeah.
But, as we got talking and things, that is a big cost. Because if you're not doing preventative maintenance and, you throw a chain in a gearbox, it's not just the chain that could go. It could crack the gearbox, and then you've got a gearbox casing, so...
It's like my car. I drive around in a very old car, right? I love it. I love my car. I basically bought it for the same price as the deposit of the Mercedes I went to buy, but I didn't like the customer service they gave me, so I thought, sod it, I'm going to go buy an old car. I now get that serviced every 7,000 miles or 8,000 miles or something like that. And because I go so regularly to the garage, guess what?
It doesn't cost you much to run.
And also, he gives me a really good price. He goes, right, you come in here every 8,000 miles. Yeah, well, I'm going to see you 3 times a year or whatever it is. It's sort of cut down a bit with COVID, but 3 times a year I'm going to see you. You just keep coming here all the time. Your car runs like a dream. I don't need to charge you as much for your service because I already know what you're going to do. And he goes, right, you've got your half service and your full service. I go, screw that. So 3 times a year, I go in there and go, just full service, and can you try and find something wrong with it? And that's what I tell him. And he very rarely finds anything wrong with it, and it just runs. And because I've had it serviced so often, he wants to buy it. Yeah. And it's a VAG group car. He's a VAG specialist, and he wants to buy my car because he knows I've spent a load on it. But all my friends have got thousands of pounds of bills on their car because they abuse them. And I spend 30 quid a month it works out at. 360 a year or something like that I do. You can now work out what I pay for a full service in the old Audi. But preventative maintenance really works. Yeah. So I think this is a tough one. Because if you're a kart track owner, you're going to be sitting there going, I don't know, because it's cost and will I really see the returns? So this is what I'd suggest. Why don't you just split your number of karts in 2?
Yeah.
And why don't you do preventative maintenance on half of them and not preventative maintenance on the other one? Because that's how confident I am. You'll save money by doing preventative maintenance. So that will reduce the cost to you. It will give you a real time and a real life indicator on whether that's going to work for you. That would be really smart. And if you believe in the confidence we've got that that's the right way forward, you might just do that. The whole shebang.
Yeah.
We'll get all that sorted.
And if somebody does go out and do that with half a fleet, tell us the results. We'd be really interested to know.
Well, also, I think we'd probably go down and meet you.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the video camera.
Yeah.
I think
the video topic. Then we wouldn't have to think one up.
Yes, please. But we'll come down. We'll do a quick shot. We'll talk about maybe what sort of stuff you're doing for preventative maintenance. Do a quick shot there, and then maybe I don't know what would be a really good time frame, but I'm thinking 4 months later we'll turn up.
And the reason I know this work has just come to me. Right, I've got a customer that I recently dropped in at his track when we did a road tour not so long ago, and the whole purpose was I wanted to know why the hell he was buying no kart parts from me.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't use any. I go, no, I don't believe you. And he goes, no, seriously, I don't.
Yeah.
And this is why. I get a new fleet. I get a new fleet every 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? Religiously changes the oil.
Yeah.
Right? Religiously.
Yeah.
Every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't do any damage.
That's right. Well, that's what I do on my car. All the oil gets stripped out, all the filters get stripped out. No, you don't too many filters in your karts, but all the filters go, all the oil gets changed. Anything where there is, oddly enough, anywhere where there's friction points in my car, I make sure they get serviced regularly. And as a result, touch wood, my old car just drives like a dream. I love it.
There you go. We started off with 8. We've gone to 9, giving extra value.
Nearly 10%. So your offer is 10% on. Forget 10% off. It's so last year.
Yeah. Extra 10% on.
There you go.
That's it. All right. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll see you next week.
Look forward to it. See you soon.
Ciao.
Bye.